Fredette announced both his retirement from basketball and his new role in the sport, USA Basketball Men's 3x3 National Team Managing Director, last month. Fredette recently discussed both moves as he ventures into the administrative side of the sport. This interview has been lightly edited for length and clarity. Olympic talk. When did you know you were ready to retire? Fredette: my original plan was play the Paris Olympics, hopefully medal, and then be able to ride off into the sunset, right? Of course. What happened? Getting injured right in the beginning of the Olympics and not being able to compete the full time was definitely difficult. I had a long rehab ahead of me. I knew it was going to be an 8-9-month rehab. As I was going through it, I wasn't playing basketball, but I was just kind of preparing to kind of get back into shape. As I thought about it, I was like, man, I kind of don't love the grind anymore. I don't love being out there and trying to work out and be in the gym every single day like I had been. For me, that was a big sign, because I loved that throughout my career. That was my favorite part, was the grind of it, was the practicing, was the getting better. That's what made me the player that I was. So when I had that type of feeling, I was like, I don't want to force it, it's probably a good sign. Then decided to make it official. It just felt like the right time. Now being home with the 3 kids, and being the dad and doing all those things has been really rewarding. Fredette, I would have, in our case of what happened in Paris, if someone does get injured, that you would be able to sub a guy in so that they could still have 4 players. That's one of the biggest things that we've talked about, just because it's such a difficult and unfair advantage to have 4 versus 3 players when you're going through the Olympic process. I get it completely, why they don't have it. There's costs involved. There's stuff that goes on, but a general FIBA 3x3 event is only 2 days, and you only play 5 games if you win it. You can play with 3 guys and get away with it. Whereas the Olympics, you're playing 7 days and 10 games, if you get to the final. It's just a way longer period. It's a way different time frame than we normally do, so if someone does go down with a rolled ankle or whatever happens, I feel like you should be able to have at least one person that's an alternate that can sub in, and then that's it, just one time, and then it's over with. Fredette, it's fun to watch trials, right? People like to get familiar with the players before the Olympics. I think we can do some type of form of that, but it's a little interesting. With 3x3, you're not just going through and being like, alright, I'm going to pick this guy, this guy, this guy, and they're just going to come together, and then I pick the team, and then it's over. These guys are going to be playing a lot for the next 3 to 4 years. It'd be fun to have, maybe, a tournament or trials or something like that, where you could see the collection of players together that we would be able to at least showcase. This is who is in the pool. These are the guys that have been playing for the last 2 to 3 years that care about the sport, that have gotten better. They're playing professionally, and now you get to see them and know who they are. It wouldn't be like the final pick or anything like that for me, because it would be a whole long process, right? From that perspective, you can have a bad tournament, but still be on the team, because you have had a whole body of work. But I think it would be fun to be able to do that in a capacity where the USA would be able to see it. Fredette, I think it would be great for the sport somewhat. But I also do love the fact that it's, currently, kind of like a true Olympic story, where these guys are going through for years, and some of them have had other jobs, or do other things or play in other leagues, and then they play 3x3 as well professionally. It's fun to see guys that have been homegrown, that have been doing 3x3 for so long, to be able to get rewarded and play in the Olympics at the end. I think it would be good from a marketing standpoint. Obviously, if you had some of the top NBA players that aren't on the 5x5 team, maybe come and play 3x3. From a branding perspective, obviously, people would watch and be aware of that. But I do like the idea of guys that are kind of homegrown and playing professionally being able to get their shine as well. Fredette, for sure, I'll still pick that team, but our USA basketball player pool is pretty small right now. That was intentional, because we had myself and all of my team were kind of playing through the Olympics, and that's who they kind of put their money into, and all that stuff. There were other guys playing, obviously, but not necessarily through USA basketball. So coming into 2025, we knew we were going to have a little bit of a smaller pool, but we still have a really good team that's out there playing in Team Miami on the FIBA World Tour, which is the team I played for. One of the guys, Dylan Travis, was on the Olympic team. He's still playing on that team. Then some other guys that were alternates and have been playing professionally for a while. So we have some really good guys to play at the World Cup, and to build them. My opportunity is to now try to find more guys as we move forward for the next several years. These guys that are playing now will continue to be in that mix, obviously, and be able to help us as we push forward, and then integrating some new players and some new talent. So by the 2026 World Cup, and all the things that we have coming up, we'll be able to have more players in our pool.